天在这个大都会博物馆有一个新的展览，是还原以前那些艺术品的颜色。现在是在 Metropolitan 的里面了。这要仔细看的话，几天都不够。这是 terracotta 做的，就是泥巴做的，是公元前2世纪。这是罗丹的馆。这是罗丹的一个作品，雕的是一个神话故事，他老婆来救他，还是他救他老婆？但是跟这个神话故事里面讲的就是说不能够睁开眼睛看，结果偏偏就看了一眼，所以他老婆就消失了。这就是当时这个神话故事说的。这都是中世纪的了，那已经到了这个 Metropolitan Museum 的楼顶上，在这上面有一个 Rooftop Garden 的新的展览。Let's see if they have one.下雨的，现在变成多云了。这是很早的《古兰经》，这一本是610到632之间写的。眼前这个湖是伊朗的，661到750年间的。这些陶器这应该不是陶的，都是瓷的，都是12、13还有6世纪做的。那时候做的已经很精致了。看，眼前这大盘子多漂亮！这个房间里都是伊朗的和亚洲中部800年到1050年的东西。伊朗的玻璃。这些也都是13世纪的陶瓷，漂亮。它的很多这个陶瓷都是用叫母亲抱着一个小孩儿，它这个图案。看这种蓝绿色的真漂亮。 这些都是14世纪的玻璃，做得漂亮，瓷砖了。Yeah, tile， 漂亮。这里面都是奥特曼的文化，那个时候的太阳太漂亮。哇哦！看这个 wood panel 做的多精致，上面都是贴金的。它这屋顶也特别的漂亮。这个现在待的这个小 corner 呢，是摩洛哥人做的，包括它这个 tile， 就是这个叫什么来着？瓷砖。还有它的这个，你看这房梁做的多漂亮，特别的精致。拱门。这个瓷砖太漂亮了。漂亮。
Symphonies, they have everything else. New York in 1870 had a symphony, truly did, but it had no park.
Now we're heading to a different room with the same group.
In this early work, this altarpiece, we see that talent coming to life. His father was an artist and he taught him everything he could, and then he studied with a man named Perugino, who painted beautiful paintings of holy figures.
现在是去法国那个馆。
Which rose to prominence in the 17th century. These children are actually the children of Louis XIV, but they are not heirs to the throne. The king was expected to have a wife who gave him heirs. She was a Spanish princess. Reflect the quality of French craftsmanship. But of all the things in this room, nothing cost more and was more important than these textile wall hangings, 4 of them. And they have a fabulous and fantastic story to tell us. Here we see a young guy in classical Roman military dress with armor. He holds a baton of a marshal. He looks a little young to be a marshal, but we'll discuss that too. And finally, on this side, we see an older young girl, and she is the opposite of spring. She is Ceres, the goddess of the harvest. So in this, and she doesn't have flowers, she has a giant bouquet of full heads of wheat. In the 1920s, And we are standing in the boardroom of the New School of Social Research, a progressive school placed in that commie Pico part of New York, Greenwich Village, in the 1920s. It was a progressive school teaching psychology, sociology, and all the street. The building is still there. And in this central panel between the windows, we announce what the theme was. That just like the nuns in Raphael's altarpiece gave him the theme that he was to adhere to. And here we see America Today. That was in neon headlines what he was doing. And knowing the country as well as he does, breaks all of the side panels down into sections of modernity in America, not just a generalized form. And over here, we see in his bright color palette, it was a marvel of the world. I use it every day. I give it a lot of space, but it's still a problematical thing. After having spent the most part of his life trying to find a meaningful vocation, a meaningful path, he tried to be a missionary because his family were Christian and Protestant. That did not work very well, and he ended wanting to become an artist. He had artists in his family. He was not very successful, but he came to Paris, saw the incredible, astonishing work of the French Impressionists with high-key color and a new style of painting that was not relying on traditional ways of constructing a painting. But then his world exploded. When we think about where this impulse for the Impressionists to take landscape and make it the star of their paintings, the celebration of the landscape, is back at work. They're enjoying this. Notice here that each one of these people is generalized, but they are still specific. They are types. The old lady, she probably lost most of her teeth, so she's dunking her bread into the milk. One glass sawing up another piece of cheese. This, I love this woman who we don't even see her face. She's the school marm of the village. Back straight, upright.
这个展厅里都是美国的一个早期画家 Thomas Cole 的画，他画的很多都是美国早期的风景。这一幅是专门画纽约附近的这个 Hudson River。他这个画其实挺大的，而且这个画家挺逗的，在这幅画里把他自己也画进去了。看，下面这个小人儿，看到了吧？他的作品真的挺漂亮的，这多有意境啊！这幅画，这是另外一个新的展览，名字就叫水。